Assalamu alaikum viewers, welcome back to another episode of Expert Advice. I'm your host Dr. Hamid. Today we have with us Mr. Bashar Arif Ansari, who is the representative of York University School of Continuing Studies. He is also manager recruitment MENA and Pakistan. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
Perfect. Let's start with a brief introduction. Since I also know that you are a foreign grad yourself. So it's very important for our viewers to understand the kind of hurdles and opportunities that they'll be facing once they go for their higher education. So let's start with your own experience first.
Absolutely. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my own personal experience. I went to the UK as an international student when I was 18 years old. One of the interesting things I always remember is me sleeping at the airport for the first night just because I didn't do my research. I did not know where I was going. I was not prepared.
Right.
And this is an important factor that sometimes we tend to miss out when we're planning about studying abroad. Studying abroad is like it's a great opportunity. It looks very glittering for everyone, but there are things that you should know about and plan accordingly. Because end of the day, you're going to a different country altogether. You're going to be spending a lot of time, a lot of money, and the cultural norms and things are different in other countries as opposed to what we have here in Pakistan. So I did a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from the UK. I completed my master's, got the opportunity to work with a couple of public universities. International education changed me as a person. Changed my overall exposure. I learned a lot of things. My communication skills, of course, got a lot better when I went to the UK because you get to associate yourself and speak with and spend time with a lot of people from different cultures. In addition to having, of course, a degree from abroad, which is definitely valuable, and that it opens up a lot of doors for you. So overall, I'd say 5-star experience. I'd recommend everyone to explore studying abroad.
Perfect. Thank you. Let's talk about why Canada as a study destination.
Sure. So not just because I am a future Canadian, not yet, but very soon, inshallah. Canada is one of the best countries to live in when you look at the standard of living. You look at, you look at it from any perspective. So, for example, if you look at studying in Canada, if you compare Canada with other destinations, you need to keep in mind the opportunities of permanent residence, for example, which is a major attraction for students, the quality of education above all, things like factors like tuition fees and living expenses, which are considerably lower as compared to other destinations. You can just see the rate of the pound and the Australian dollar as opposed to Canadian dollar, for example. So in general, great place for you to look at. People are really friendly. That's another thing you should keep in mind. It's very multicultural, especially if you go to a city like Toronto or Vancouver, for example. We have a fairly large Pakistani community based there as well. In addition, people from other places, you'll find halal food, you'll find mosques, you'll find everything that you're looking for. People say that Canada is very cold. It's cold only for a few months.
Then you get used to it.
Yes, and majority of the months actually the weather is quite pleasant. So in the summer, for example, we have long summers, about 6 months, and usually the weather is quite nice. And it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. You get to see wildlife and a lot of other things for you to explore.
Perfect. So why York University?
So York is Canada's third largest university. We have 60,000 students currently studying at York's 2 campuses. Both of these campuses are based in Toronto. We have 10,000 plus international students, and that's quite a fairly large student population.
It is.
Pakistani community is very well represented at York as well. So we have quite a large number of students currently studying at York, different undergraduate and postgraduate programs. So it's quite a popular university, very well known in Pakistan. York offers 200 plus undergraduate degree programs. It's ranked in the top 1% of universities in the world. And the fact that we're based in Toronto is definitely very helpful because Toronto is a destination that is highly sought after. In addition to all of that, the School of Continuing Studies at York, which is what I'm representing, is one of the pioneers of continuing professional education in Canada. So we offer these postgraduate certificate programs and English language programs, and we were one of the pioneers of establishing and introducing these programs into the market. So overall some really great programs and a great place for students to be.
All right. You mentioned the postgraduate certificates. Now, for our viewers, sometimes it's confusing. They don't know the difference between master's and postgrad certificates. Which should they go for? So, can you, elaborate on the difference between them and which to go for?
Of course. So we have a perception generally among students and their parents that you have a bachelor's and you have a master's and then you have a PhD and there's nothing in between. So, the first question I'd asked a student is, if they want to pursue a master's degree, what is your aim behind pursuing a master's?
Right.
Are you someone that wants to get into research? Are you someone that wants to teach in the future?
Yeah,
Why exactly do you need a master's degree?
right.
The postgraduate certificates essentially are very practical programs that they're designed in close collaboration with industry experts. They're designed to be more practical and to bridge some of those skill gaps that we have in the job market. So just to give you a further example, let's talk about teachers or people that will teach you in the program. So usually people teaching in the master's programs are academics.
Oh, okay.
Whereas in the certificate programs, you'll get industry practitioners, people that are currently working in the industry, teaching you some of those programs. So in addition to that, master's programs are 2 years in duration. Certificate programs are usually 1 year in duration, so you save time, you save money. They tend to be less expensive.
Right.
One of the other more important factors here is the entry requirements. So the process of admission into a master's in Canada, unlike the UK or Australia, is not as easy. It's quite competitive. You're looking at around a 3.2 GPA or above in general for most universities if you want to go into a master's. If there's anything, if your GPA is below that, then the likelihood of you getting into a master's is very less.
All right.
So these are the things you need to keep in mind. The processing time for applications could be anywhere from 2 months to 4, 5, 6 months. You might need GRE, GMAT, which you don't need for certificates. So it's a comparatively easier option, and it's a very good alternative option for students to consider for all of these reasons I've just mentioned.
Perfect, perfect. One of the tricky questions that students ask is whether work permit is allowed and what are the prospects of settlement there after the postgrad certificates.
So when students complete our postgraduate certificate program, they are eligible for a postgraduate work permit of up to 1 year upon completion. Usually the duration of the postgraduate certificate is tied up to the length of the program.
Right.
Unfortunately, I cannot talk in more detail about the residency or permanent residency opportunities because I'm not qualified to provide immigration advice, but what I can tell you is that there are numerous options for students that graduate. Of course, number one is the postgraduate work permit option.
Right.
So that's your opportunity to go to Canada, get valuable work experience, and then there are certain scheme designed for graduates from Canada that graduate from Canadian universities. In addition to the general point-based system, there could be other options for you in which you can explore to be able to become permanent residents in Canada.
All right.
And I don't think any other country at the moment can match what Canada offers in terms of opportunities for international students.
Yeah. Okay, so what are the most popular courses and what are the fee structures like?
So we offer 8 full-time certificate programs. We offer business administration. Project management is actually one of the courses we teach in that program. So if you're interested in project management, you could explore this program. We offer human resource management. The program meets the coursework requirements for the CHRP qualification designation in Canada. So these are professional designations associated with these certificates, which will help you in terms of your employment. We offer accounting, we offer advanced accounting. Both of these programs prepare you for the CPA qualification, which is equivalent to sort of the chartered accountants in Pakistan. We have public relations. Blockchain development is a really attractive program. Blockchain, for those of you that are not aware, blockchain, we the only university in Canada that offers a certificate in blockchain. There's no other that offers it. Digital marketing is another very popular program for obvious reasons. Everything's going digital these days. It's a program that people like to come to. And then we've just launched a certificate in cybersecurity as well, which is another great option for students that have done, or have an interest in cybersecurity. One other thing I would quickly like to mention is that most of our programs are open to students from different backgrounds. So if you're not an IT undergraduate student, you could still come and do our cybersecurity program because it's designed for people that have a little or no background in computer science, for example. So great option for you to explore. Tuition fees for the certificate starts at $15,199 for the full program of 1 year. one academic year. So if you compare our tuition fees, you will notice that it's actually lower than most of the other competitors, and we are a university, not even a college, so you get the overall experience of studying at Canada's third largest university.
Right, perfect, perfect. Do you have any specific partners in Pakistan that you work with?
So I'm really grateful that you mentioned this. I would like to mention that we currently have designated partners that we work with in Pakistan. ABN is actually one of our partners that we work with. They have offices across the country, in Lahore, in Karachi, in Islamabad, most of the major cities. I believe they just opened up another office in Peshawar and some of the other cities too. They are one of our approved agents, so if you would like to get admission into one of our certificate programs, please do visit their offices. They will be able to help you not just with the application, but also with the study permit applications. They're an expert in this field, and we've been around for quite a while. So please do use their services. And I'd like to confirm, they are one of our official partners for the York University School of Continuing Studies.
Perfect. Okay. In the closing remarks, would you like to share anything with our students?
Absolutely. I'd like to inform students that Canada is opening up, so we're welcoming international students now. Borders are open for students to come in and study on campus. Yeah. We've actually started delivering programs on campus in person from the January intake. Now is the time for you to apply for these programs. I know everyone's fed up of sitting at home, and people have been bogged down. So please try and make sure that you apply as quickly as possible to make sure that you apply in time to be able to get a study permit on time. There are wonderful opportunities waiting for you at the York University School of Continuing Studies, and we look forward to welcoming some of you to come and join us.
COVID did take a toll.
It did.
But we now have to get back to our own.
Thanks God, we're over it now.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It was such a pleasure to have you on the show.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So viewers, that's all for now. Keep watching Expert Advice. We'll see you in another show. Allah Hafiz.